is your body is the place where you have to live the longest.
Australian researchers are examining whether deep sleep can stave off Alzheimer's disease.
So take care of your body equally as you are taking care of your business. Sleep.
And 70% of people report having insomnia and having poor sleep. And
Sugar. It's a slow poison. Right? If your gut is unhealthy, your mood would be disturbed.
Today we have with us somebody who blends both the worlds, entrepreneurship as well as health science, beautifully. Miss Neha Kawa.
I usually introduce myself as a disease reversal coach.
Founders and entrepreneurs are so busy.
As you know, entrepreneurs don't have a fixed routine. There are meetings, there are site visits and things like that.
Correct. There's a lot of travel.
Late night eating has increased. Sleeping late and getting up late is not where you count as a healthy sleep, even if you are sleeping for 10 hours.
Right.
But if you are not sleeping well, then your stress is getting built up day after
Right.
day after day.
Diet A works for me, but it may not work for, another person.
Okay, for example, a person who loses weight with a high protein diet, for other person it may lose weight with high fat diet. Okay, so that is what DNA testing tells us. So if your gut is healthy, you will feel that energy levels.
When we come back to rules of healthy eating, can you give us 3 basic rules of healthy eating?
Never skip your breakfast. Okay, make sure all your meals have some source of protein and try to finish your dinner 3 hours before you go to bed.
What are the changes that you have seen in the lifestyle diseases in terms of increase?
There's more availability of junk food.
Junk food induced obesity, which for the longest time was considered a Western problem.
वहाँ की रहने वाली एक 16 साल की बच्ची अहाना की मौत ज्यादा जंक फूड खाने की वजह से हो गई।
So junk food has drastically come in. Every corner has a food joint. Because it is so readily available, you tend to eat.
So what is this one mistake that you have seen overall most people make?
One is they start skipping.
Hello and welcome to Founders Health Code, where we decode the science, the systems, and the habits behind high-performing entrepreneurs. Today we have with us somebody who blends both the worlds, entrepreneurship as well as health science, beautifully. Miss Neha Kawa, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Rashi, for that beautiful introduction. I'm really very excited and looking forward for this podcast because the topic is something very close to my heart.
That's wonderful. Okay, Miss Neha, to start off with, let's just say if anyone is meeting you for the first time, can you just explain to us what is it exactly that you do, and how would you describe your life as an entrepreneur?
So I usually introduce myself as a disease reversal coach, you can say.
Okay.
So anyone dealing with any kind of lifestyle related diseases, it could be fatty liver, diabetes, cholesterol, atherosclerosis, and so on. So with the help of proper nutrition and the pillars of health, I help them reverse that.
That sounds wonderful. So, to get into something like this, there must be some sort of a passionate drive, right? Can you help us understand what has been your journey?
So I have been in this field now. I completed 15 years. So the journey has been with lots and up and down. Started with working for hospitals, then doing part-time, working with fitness industry. So trying to, get knowledge from all sort of industry which is connected to health and fitness. And then finally being an entrepreneur.
Okay. And was there a moment where you realized that, I want to do something big in life, like all other entrepreneurs?
Right. So for me, entrepreneurship started in COVID. Okay, so I think that was the time where people realized how health is important. Okay, because during that phase, it was the survival of the fittest kind of situation.
Absolutely.
So that was the time when I saw my near and dear ones getting affected and they had so many health issues. So I realized that even being part of that circle, their priority still was not health. So for me, spreading that awareness among the closed ones and also to the community was, that was something which hit me. So I wanted to do something for the society So spreading awareness is what I believe in. So even if people are coming to me for consultations, I make sure that I just don't write a diet plan for them, but help them understand what is the science behind and how it is going to work for your body internally, rather than just writing down morning to night routine that you have to eat this. Rather than, if you know the science behind it, why we are doing this, then it makes more sense, right?
Absolutely, Neha. Just like how you said, it's a great science, right? And which is highly ignored by most people, right? So when we talk about science, it has a lot of the role of genetics or DNA to play in terms of nutrition and how your body is consuming such nutrition,
Yes.
right? And as the days are passing, we are learning more about this. We
Right.
read online. And can you give us more insights on probably diet A works for me, but it may not work for another person? Can
Right.
you give us more details on
So
that?
basically, traditionally, what is being practiced in India is we go back in the history. We start from your childhood. What has been history of your immunity? Like what was the way of birth, whether it was normal or C-section. So going that deep, that tells us like how your body immune system has developed, how your earlier years have been, what changes in your lifestyle gave that a hit to the body, that it started reacting differently when your metabolism changed, why you started developing certain lifestyle related illnesses. So a lifestyle recall gives us that history. And of course, like when we talk about DNA testing, so that just tells you what your body is ready for. Okay, for example, a person who loses weight with a high protein diet, for other person it may lose weight with high fat diet. Okay, so that is what DNA testing tells us. But of course, it's pretty expensive in India right now, so not many people are opting for it. But yes, down the lines, after few years, it is going to be like one of the testing which people would be doing, because it's once in lifetime you do. So even if you do DNA testing at age of 1 year for any kid, so it is not going to change after years.
Right.
So that is just one time investment in your health when we talk about DNA testing.
Absolutely. And so just give me a glimpse about what your daily life, your routine is like, balancing both entrepreneurship as well as, science which is developing with each day.
Yeah. So frankly, it's quite messy because there are a lot many things going on, like how you want to start your day, but how it is going to be. So you have to really juggle. But one thing what I keep in mind is I take one day at a time. Like there is no over expectations. Okay, I have to do this, but I am conscious about it. For example, if today, because of any work schedule, if I have skipped my workout, so I'm conscious about it that today I have skipped my workout. So maybe I'll try to cover up in some other way, maybe using stairs or parking car little far and then walking some steps, talking and walking when I'm on phone. So I try to inculcate all those small habits which somewhere try to balance out my daily activity. So I think that is something which has to be there, being conscious and taking one day at a time for an entrepreneur, because as you know, entrepreneurs don't have a fixed routine, right? There are meetings, there are like your site visits and things like that.
Correct. There's a lot of travel, and what you said, walking and talking.
Yeah.
It's like a great way to keep your workout on, because we don't realize how long we've been walking for
Yes.
while we are talking. It could be hours, and if you go by those 10,000 steps, then it may become a bit difficult to match the number, right?
Definitely.
When we're talking about taking one day at a time, so can you tell us a bit about what challenges, major challenges that you faced during this balance?
So for me, I think my day starts quite early, but a workout is something which gets a little less priority as compared to when work comes. Suppose if I have some deadline, so workout is the thing which I usually get to skip. Okay, so my challenge in a day is workout, and of course not being active, because like when I have back-to-back consultations, so most of the time I am sitting. Okay, but then now gradually when I realize that okay, this is the kind of routine I'm going to have, maybe I'm going to get busier, but not, as I grow in the entrepreneurship, so days are going to be busier and not at ease. So I have developed, during consultation, I tend to get up from my seat. When I'm counseling the patient, so I stand and counsel the patient so that at least some mobility, drives in. So these are some steps which need to be taken consciously. Yes, sometimes I forget, like I'm sitting for hours, then suddenly I realize, okay, I can get up and talk to the patient while they are sitting.
Right, absolutely. And when we're talking about this at the same time, probably as you said, planning a little ahead, because long-term planning may not have worked, but at least planning your next day will come in handy, because if your second half is going to be busy, then give yourself time during the first half, and vice versa. And when we're talking about being busy, as you yourself are, founders and entrepreneurs are so busy, right? So Matt, can you give us some guidance of how entrepreneurs and founders can balance both? Because there's a lot of stress as well.
Right.
There's stress, there's travel, and there's a lot of eating out, right? So can you give us a sort of a plan which our audience also can follow?
So for the entrepreneurs and for the people who are not don't have a fixed routine, I would say, so few things which needs to be taken care is never leave your home without breakfast, because that is the meal which you'll be eating, and then you don't know where you are. You are in office, you are at site, you are traveling. So breakfast is an important meal. And if you have outside eating habits, you should have list of food. Okay, if I'm eating out, then these are the options which I have to eat. Hydration is one thing which needs to be taken care of. Then your sleep plays very important role. So even if you are not eating 1, 2, 3, 4, at least these consciousness should be there. If I'm eating out, these are the category of food I have, or these are the list of food. So again, like if you think you're not able to manage your diet, or you think that it is being neglected for a while, it is always better to plan up. You can sit with your family, you can plan up the list of foods, or how your day routine would be, so even the family knows that you are been eating this. Or you can take help of a qualified dietitian and just chart out for once that as for my overall fitness, what are the nutrient intake should be there on a regular basis. Okay, will keep his body healthy. So that is a simple thing which you can go for a single consultation. You can just chart out that this is my routine, and based on my routine, what would you suggest? Because nowadays traveling, like there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are into marketing, and they want to market their business, and they are traveling from one place to another. So in that case, I always tell them that either you have to make sure that you are carrying everything, or you make things available with you, which nowadays like healthy bars and healthy foodstuffs are available, which are packaged, which you can carry. So keep those things available, or else when you're eating out, eat consciously. Like I definitely give them 10 food items which they can eat liberally when they're eating out.
Okay, absolutely makes sense. Like it's probably something as basic as
Yeah.
choosing tandoori over fried.
Yes, right.
Right. And a lot of your food intake has to do with your emotional well-being as well, right? So can you give us a glimpse about how nutrition is related to your emotional well-being, your mental well-being?
So I would say emotionally, definitely your energy levels are dependent on what you give to your body, right? You must have heard you are what you eat. So even like for a 15-day time, even for 2 weeks, if you are eating healthy, you will feel changes in your energy levels. You will feel the way you feel about your body. You will start feeling lighter. You will start feeling more energetic. You would be more happy. At the same time, if your food intake is more of junk food, getting in empty calories from fried food or from sugar rich food, then you will feel low on your energy. You will feel lethargic. You will be no energy throughout the day, tired, fatigued, and you won't feel like giving best to whatever you are doing. and that definitely will contribute to your mental health, because that will affect your decision making power, or how you want to grow in your business. So gut again plays a very important role to for emotional health as well as mental health. So if your gut is healthy, you will feel that energy levels and your mood would be good, right? If your gut is unhealthy, then that will again make you feel lethargic, will again make you feel low on energy, and you won't give your best of what you're doing. So it's a cycle which has to be broken, which again here your sleep also comes in, because your sleep and gut are also closely related. So if you're not sleeping well, your gut would be disturbed, so your mood would be disturbed.
Right.
Okay, so it's a vicious cycle.
It is.
Yeah.
And as they say that, you take care of your food intake, a lot of it gets affected more than one realizes,
Yes.
right? And, we spoke about emotional and mental well-being, and also you said you take care of lifestyle diseases. So let's say in the past 10 years, since there's a lot of entrepreneurs that have come in the scenario, what are the changes that you have seen in the lifestyle disease and in terms of increase? Absolutely, there is a lot of increase because there's a lot of shift in lifestyle as well. So, and also versus urban versus say, a rural or a semi-urban, lifestyle.
So, yes, the lifestyle has been changed drastically over a decade. What people have now is more availability of junk food. Okay, initially, like we used to eat out only on occasions, birthday parties, some anniversary celebrations, or when you are passing out with good marks. That was the time where we used to celebrate.
Right.
Okay, with friends or family. But now, like availability, like every corner has a food joint. Okay, so even if you don't want to eat, because it is so readily available, you tend to eat. So junk food has drastically come in. Because of that, like junk food always takes more time for digestion and absorption, and as I said, availability, late night eating has increased. Okay, so when you are feeding your body late night, so you tend to get late sleeps. Okay, so if you're sleeping late, so up again you're getting up late in the morning, and getting up sleeping late and getting up late is not where you count as a healthy sleep, even if you're sleeping for 10 hours. So you have to sleep for 6 to 8 hours, but that should be like in deep night. So I would say from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. is beach mein you have to sleep 6 to 8 hours. That is the healthy sleep. Then your body can auto heal. So whatever changes has happened in your body, whatever emotional imbalance or hormonal imbalance, physical stress, so your body can revive or heal all of that if you're sleeping well. So I would say there are too many things lifestyle related happening in young kids also, because they are not catching up on sleep.
Right.
In early years, like sleep was there in place, like parents had a sleep routine. Now kids watch, binge watch, binge eat, so that affects their overall health. And then they are grown up, so they continue with the same habits with lot of pressure coming on from the professional end. So this hormone will again affect your metabolism, where you start gaining weight. So with obesity, there comes in diabetes and cholesterol and all those issues. So I feel availability of junk food has increased drastically, and because of that, the eating choices have changed, and Swiggy, Zomato, and everything adds on.
Correct. It just seems easier to, order in rather than cooking an entire meal, right? Since we are talking about hormonal imbalance, let's give a little emphasis on women as well, because there's a lot to take care of. They have to take care of their families, and now people are, women are more into, going to office and, balancing this entire scenario, which takes a lot of energy, as well as mental energy, as well as physical and emotional, right?
Yeah.
And everybody is expected to be present everywhere.
Yes.
Right? Of course men as well, but I would specifically want to talk about women. So what is your suggestion for them, that what is the way that they should balance out, give time to themselves?
So the very first thing would be, we don't want to be perfect, okay, and we don't want to make each and everyone happy. Okay, so I feel if you want someone to be happy, so that should be yourself first. Okay, because if you are happy, then you can spread that happiness overall. And you see there are a lot many women who are achieving menopause also very early, so that is where hormone imbalance and stress and everything walks in. So first of all, like we have tendency of taking all the responsibilities on us, so that has to be stopped, because there is some responsibility towards our body also. So I always suggest my female clients that, like, it is very important for you to take care of your diet, your fitness routine, your sleeping habits, because everything contributes to hormones. And males have same hormones throughout the day, but females hormones throughout the day fluctuates. Forget about monthly fluctuations in the hormones, but throughout the day our hormones are, we have so many hormones that they go up and down, up and down, which definitely affects your mood, affects our well-being, it affects how we feel about ourselves. So that has to be considered. So I think for a woman, she herself has to take that first step and set a routine where she knows, like, where everyone around knows about her routine as well. Okay, most of the time women knows about husband's routine, कि ये उनका time है, then he is going to this. So likewise we can also have our own routine if we want to make sure that we are internally fit as well. So when you talk about hormones, so this fluctuation in hormones comes with stress. Okay, so we have double stress, I would say 3 times more, because घर का, ऑफिस का and बच्चों का. ठीक है, so 3 times more stress. Then sleeping hours are also compromised somewhere, because we want to prepare for the next day, or sitting back late with the family to give family a time if you are working, so to get out of that guilt that you are not giving time to your family. So sleep is also, and physical stress, because you, like, even if you are working, sitting and working in office, that doesn't mean you are relaxed or you are stress free, right? Because it comes with lot of mental stress, and it definitely affects how you feel physically also. Because if you are mentally stressed, and if someone tells you that let's go for cycling or a run, you won't go, right? Because you want to relax mentally also and physically also. So, and second is the pollution, which adds to the hormonal imbalance for everyone, male and female both. And the cosmetics we use, the hair product which we use, so all these are toxic to our body. The junk food what we are eating, anything which comes in the packaged form, okay, it comes with lots of preservatives, so that adds toxic to our body. So this toxic which enters our body also imbalances your hormone. So when we talk about hormone balance, like, apart from food we eat, which is a major contribution, apart from that, your cosmetics, pollution, that all affects your hormone.
And talking about these crash diets or these fad diets, if we may call it, say intermittent, keto, or there are several others.
Yes.
What is your take on it?
So I always tell my clients that, like, any diet plan which you feel that you can follow for lifetime is the right diet for you. Okay, because it has to be changes in small habits which is helping you meet your target. Like, if you're looking for a short term goal or a short term result, then you be prepared to for getting a rebounds of all that, because a lot of people do intermittent fasting and keto to lose fat. So most of the people start, but they don't know where to stop. So that is the main I would say the main area which needs concern. Okay, overdoing of anything will not take you anywhere. Rather, do it in a balanced way which you can continue for a longer period of time. So that is the time where sustainability comes in. Okay, so many patients or clients would come with a yo-yo effect. That means losing weight, gaining weight, losing. So in this process of losing, gaining, your body gives up a lot of muscle mass. Your metabolism further drops. So which is on a longer run harmful for your body.
Say if I, like, for entrepreneurs, they have, as you said, we travel a lot, and there then can be some foods that they can carry along. Can you just help us, like, say 3 things that are easy to carry? Say you could just put it in your bag, and you can go as per your day. So can you just suggest three things that
My recommendations are always you should have your nuts and seeds in your pocket. Second is sattu is what I liberally ask my patients, because that gives you good satiety and a very rich source of nutrition. Okay, it has calcium, fiber, and it's very handy and quick to eat. Even if you are driving, you can just keep sipping and you can go on.
Okay.
And the third thing is locally available fruits. Wherever you go, I'm sure there are like people with fruits. Okay, so grab on one.
Right.
So these are three things which I tell them. Apart from that, roasted snacks like makhana, roasted chana, those are also like very commonly, but you need to stock them.
Right, absolutely. As a new ki, you eat it
Yeah.
once and then second time ke liye you're just buying a packet
Yes.
of chips, right? So, and we talk about superfoods, right? So every few days there is one new superfood in the market, right? Which surpasses the one that has gone already. So, according to you, like keeping in mind, keeping, say, the fashion out of it, what are the three superfoods according to you for everybody?
See, for my clients, I usually tell anything which is cooked in front of you or home cooked is a superfood. Okay, whichever has been served to you apart from home cooked food is junk. So even if it is something which you are eating healthy, for example stir fry salad bhi agar aap bahar kha rahe ho, so I would still not give it a 10 on 10. I would say if it is made at home, then it's a superfood, because all the natural ingredients have gone in. And if you really say like superfood, then good source of protein, okay, which is egg would be a good source of protein. So that becomes a superfood. If you are having fresh fruits and vegetables, that is superfood. So including more and more colors to your diet would be a superfood. Eating whole grains over refined grains would be a superfood. So if you want to stick to the basic eating habits, then that is a superfood. And I always tell my clients, make your meals with lowest ingredients possible. The more complicated it is, it goes towards junkier side.
Right, absolutely. As they say, like something as basic as a dal khichdi is
Yeah.
one of the healthiest
Yes.
foods that somebody can have.
Definitely.
Right? And when we come back to rules of healthy eating, can you give us three basic rules of healthy eating?
So, which definitely I follow. Never skip your breakfast. Okay, make sure all your meals have some source of protein. Even if you're vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, all meals should have good source of protein, and try to finish your dinner 3 hours before you go to bed. These are the basics which you should follow. If you feel you're reaching home late and then it's time to sleep, then I would suggest that you have your meal wherever you are 3 hours before your sleeping time. And the fourth one to add on is hydration.
Right. Correct. Absolutely. Hydration is really important, where everybody we've heard that 2 liters of water is essential.
Yeah.
So is that correct in your opinion, or, is there another, quantity
See,
that one...
the first thing is there are many food which has good water content.
Right.
Okay, but usually we don't take into account, because most of the time Indians are into more cooked food, not in the raw food. So even if we are cooking vegetables, we make sure it's soft and meshy kind of thing, not kacha pakka. We usually don't prefer. So water content food mein se usually we don't count, but apart from that 25 to 30 ml of your body weight
Okay.
should be your water intake. So
Okay.
larger the circumference of the body, your water intake has to be more so that make sure that assimilation of nutrients happens throughout the body.
Okay, that's actually a wonderful suggestion, that 25 to 30% of your
30 ml.
30 ml
Yes.
of your body's weight. That's a good calculation everybody can make for themselves. And talking about healthy eating, so I'm sure everybody makes some mistake, right? So what is this one mistake that you have seen overall most people make?
So one is they start skipping meals, and other is they hate carbs. They feel that because of carbs I'm gaining weight. So the one thing which they start excluding is rice
Right.
from the diet. So many people will come that I have tried losing weight and I have stopped eating rice, but let me tell you, rice is not the culprit for weight. There are many other factors which you need to change if you want to lose weight, you know.
Okay. And, say people who are working, they are working late, they live a lot on coffee, black coffee, or, caffeine or energy drinks. What is your take on that, and if there is a certain limit that, one can consume this up to?
See, if given an option, like coffee has more of, I think, it's been a trend rather than, actually you need or no. Because you are having coffee, so I will also have coffee. You are having tea, so I'll have tea.
Just for
so
company.
It is, yeah. So most of the time it is for company that, we just wanted to have some good conversation, or we just wanted to hang around. So we had tea or coffee. So it is more of that. There are some people who are okay with coffee and tea, but there are many people who develop a lot of acidity, lot of gut issue with these beverages. So for them, my answer is always make sure you are drinking water first.
Okay.
Okay. So even green tea comes later. My first option would be have enough water.
Okay.
Okay. And then next, if they want to have, yes, definitely caffeine gives that boost, but that is not what I would recommend. But if they want that boost, like say once in a day, so 2 cups coffee in a day is fair enough. But I would say if you love your gut, then maybe you can replace it with normal water.
And what about these energy drinks that are
all
just
loaded
booming?
with sugar and
Right.
excess of caffeine? Okay, so that definitely gives them that energy spike for which they feel that it makes them more alert or more refreshing, but it's all loaded with sugar and preservatives. So more than like caffeine, these are the things which affect the body.
We just spoke about caffeine, right? So is there an alternative to this? That, if I want an instant energy just before a meeting, what can I do to, be all charged up?
One thing what you can do is just a glass of water and a 5 minutes of walk with yourself, not with the phone or not with anyone, just a 5-minute walk with a glass of water. That will, give you good focus and good energy to start your next meeting. Trust me, you should try this.
Wonderful. That's a wonderful suggestion. And, if there is one thing that, entrepreneurs can avoid during their work hours in terms of, something which they consume.
So I feel availability of the food is the first thing which needs to be taken care of. Okay. And of course, empty calorie food, that means it is just giving you calorie, no nutrition. So your sugar based products and your fried food will come in this category. But suppose if in my pantry, if I have these food stocked, then that becomes available to me readily. So I will go and grab it immediately. So that has to be changed. Okay.
Right.
If you have a biscuit packet in your pantry, so you will not eat today, maybe not day after, but at certain point of time you will go and grab it.
Correct.
So availability ही नहीं होना चाहिए.
Right. Out of sight is out of mind.
Yes,
right.
right.
So say, an entrepreneur comes to you and he says, I have absolutely no time. What is this, what are your suggestions for that person? Like these small changes that everybody can implement and, make a part of their daily routine.
So most of the entrepreneur come with this task only that, I want to achieve this result, but then I have no extra time to give. So then we work on small micro habits. Okay. As I told you that, talking and walking on phone. So I tell them to make a list of call which they are supposed to do after their breakfast, after their lunch and after their dinner. So entrepreneurs have, they take daily follow-ups, right? So I tell them that this is your to-do list, which has to be there every day morning. So as soon as you finish your breakfast, you make sure you're calling these 2 people, talking and walking. Then after lunch, because usually after lunch, again, they are into desk job or they prefer doing something on desk. So again, I tell them that another 2 calls, which you have to make while you are walking and talking. So making walking as a part of their routine at the same time not affecting their work.
Right.
Okay, and most of the time entrepreneurs have early reaching time. They reach home by 8:30, so that is a good time to have breakfast if they are sleeping around 11:30. But if in case they are reaching late, So as I told you that I suggest them to eat something and then they can leave for their home. So maybe a planned day where they know that today I'm going to be late, so they have something with them to have for dinner as well.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. What would be your suggestion? So to say to entrepreneurs, to the young founders who have just gotten into this rush,
Yeah.
right? What would be your suggestion which they can take it, long term?
So the first thing is your body is the place where you have to live the longest, right?
Right.
So take care of your body equally as you are taking care of your business, and don't lose the priority on your health if you really want to go long way in your business. And you should be conscious of what you are eating. That is very important thing. अगर आप junk भी खा रहे हो, so you should know that okay, today I have had junk, so it cannot happen tomorrow again. Okay, so junk food, like, it's not बिल्कुल नहीं खाना है, but it is like you have to decide the frequency whether I'll be eating it once a week or once in 15 days. Okay, so nowadays along with junk food, your alcohol, smoking, everything has become a fashion. But then you have to limit yourself. It cannot be done like limitless.
Correct.
So you should know last हमने कभी किया था. So now when you can expose that self to your body, so that has to be taken care of.
That's a wonderful advice that you have given to our young founders, that a limit to everything.
Yes.
Say even your work-life balance is actually, I think, very important when all of this
so
comes
sleep
in.
is neglected.
Yes.
Because they like the young founders, they work a lot, so then they feel that screen time is their relaxation time. But more than screen, their body needs good quality sleep.
Correct.
So if they are sleeping well, then next day their body is reset to take all those challenges again.
Right.
But if you are not sleeping well, then your stress is getting built up day after
Right.
day after day, and then like by the time you are peak of your career or of your entrepreneurship, your health starts deteriorating, and then you start visiting doctors along with your meetings.
Right. Okay, that's great. Thank you. So, Neha, let's do a quick rapid fire round. Right. So, to start with, would you recommend a night workout or a morning workout?
Morning workout.
Okay. Supplements, yes or no?
Only if needed.
Okay. And when we talk about, say, protein shakes, yes or no?
If
or
your
maybe?
diet doesn't have enough protein, then yes, protein shakes.
Okay. And coffee or green tea?
Water.
Sleep or gym?
Sleep, because I never recommend people to skip their sleep and then go for a workout, because that will work in reverse. Okay, it will develop more stress in the body, which we don't want.
Right.
So if you have not slept well, you can sleep well.
What is this one myth that you want to kill forever?
Stop blaming carbs or blaming food, whole foods. Basically, if you are eating home cooked food, even if it is carbs or protein, it would be digested in a better way, and enjoy those meals basically.
Right. And what is this one food that you love recommending to everybody?
Usually high protein eggs, which is a pure source of protein.
And for somebody who doesn't eat eggs?
Pulses, whole beans,
Okay. And one food you tell everybody to just avoid?
sugar.
Okay.
It's a slow poison.
So, and what about these substitutes that everybody is consuming now? Say if it's, jaggery or date sugar or coconut sugar.
So this is one section, and then comes your sweeteners.
Right.
Okay, so your sucralose or stevia, monk fruit. If your health goal is avoid that sugar spike, so your jaggery or coconut sugar, cane sugar, everything will give you that sugar spike. Okay, so that becomes no if you are working on your sugar spike. And this side, sucralose is an synthetic sweetener which gives, but it's in a form of chemical.
Right.
Stevia is a natural, monk is natural, but everything has an aftertaste. So
Right.
till now, monk is very closest to the sugar, which doesn't have an aftertaste. So people, yes, for a diabetic or a person who want to go on a very low carb diet or want to avoid that sugar spike, they opt for these sweeteners.
Going a little offbeat, is there any book that you would recommend your young entrepreneurs to read?
So, as I said, it is more about building habits. Okay, small changes that becomes habit. So, Atomic Habit is something which you should, grab on.
That's lovely. And to conclude, what is that one word that defines your journey?
Growth.
Okay.
Long way to go.
Lovely. So growth goes hand in hand with nutrition, of
Yes,
course,
definitely.
right? So, just one last question for you. If you had one health code for our young founders and entrepreneurs, what would it be?
Please give equal priority to your health and be focused. If you feel that your body is giving you some signal, try to listen to your body. Even if you are burnout, your body will definitely tell you. So don't wait for burnout to be so drastic that you collapse or you face some bigger
Emergency,
challenges.
yeah.
Just listen to your body along with your work.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Neha, for having this conversation with us, which was so insightful for all our audience. And your suggestions to everybody, I'm sure it means a lot. And we all can take a lot of this back home and probably try to implement this in our daily habit as
It
well.
was all pleasure. As I told you, it's very close to my heart. So I loved being here. Thank you so much for inviting me for this podcast.
Thank you so much for being online with us and being a part of this conversation. Until next time, be healthy, be safe, and keep your entrepreneurship journey on. Thank you.